Engines, he's got a perfect punch for that, and so I'm going to do this. One of the neat ideas he came up with, remember I gotta get to here to drive that back in, but as you can see this is going to be in the way, so he rolled back on my C-clamp trip. So we're gonna press that pin back in with the C-clamp. So I gotta get the tripod set up so you can see this. Back. Alright, I hope you can see this. I'm gonna try and pull this pin out. Beautiful. Look at that, a reusable cotter pin. I put those on my KLR on my rear axle. Muzzle Mike loves them. It's moving. Well, maybe this is gonna suck. Too much winter riding. Yep. Got too thick. Got too thick as it went up. See if I can pull it out by hand. Yeah, this is going to take some wire brushing, guys. Alright. Cool thing. It's got a ring. And that's where the cotter pin, keeper pin goes. I absolutely love that design. Now I tried pressing this in before with that pin in, and it wouldn't move, but once I drove that pin out, it's doing it. So we'll be back. Alright, so now we pull out the brake pads. It really doesn't look that bad. This one don't look great, but you can see the difference. The new ones are quite a bit thicker, obviously. Now there's something about a keeper spring in here, but we'll get to that. So now what I'm going to do, shoot the hell out of this. With brake parts cleaner, non-chlorinated, which I showed you guys before. before if you've been following this. And we'll be back.
Soldier Valley Spirits.
All right, I ran it on the electrical wire brush, and now I'm gonna dip it in anti-seize, and then we'll go put it back in to the pads, and that'll be a done deal. If I can drive it all the way in. That's my worry. Alright, there wasn't a disc brake backer on them, so I'm using this disc brake quiet. And now it just appears and slide this back in. Uh-oh. Can't get enough clearance. Yeah. All right. Now I've already wire brushed the pin that goes in, and now I got to go get it and coat it with anti-seize compound. So we'll be back. All right, I put way too much on anti-seize, but we'll figure that out later. Look at that sweet meat shit. Well, fuck, I forgot to look at where the pin goes. God damn it. Yeah, I'll bet I can figure it out. Somehow I get to squeeze this bitch in. Yeah, it looks like I'm gonna have to hammer it in. Then hopefully I can figure out where the fucking hole is and rotate it with the needle nose pliers. Great idea, but why didn't you put a groove around it so it just sat into the groove instead of having a hole like a cotter pin? Alright, so here's how we're going to do this. Got a 4-inch C-clamp. It's going in beautiful. And I think I just saw the hole. Let me go get the keeper pin. This is the part I was afraid of. It appears I haven't gotten it driven in far enough. Nope. This ain't looking good, guys. I gotta find something long enough to go through that fucking reverse well to drive that pin in far enough. So let me see what I can find. Alright, now I'm gonna drive it in from the other side. I forgot the hammer. Now what I've used is an oversized socket and an extension. It's got to do it. I saw it move big time there. Fuck. Bingo! It's in there. Done. Now let's go over here and do this. This is the extension with the oversized socket that fit it there and allowed me some wiggle room to get to it. Alright, first set of brakes on the rear is done. Gotta love how easy that was. Just a matter of figuring it out. Alright, after the test ride and the ride home, which really isn't that far, but rear brakes are still a little bit slippery. I think that will have to come down to breaking the pads into the rotor. And overall, I'm really freaking happy One of the things I neglected to talk about was making sure the front of the pads were locked in to the front of the caliper, but apparently I did that correctly. And yeah, I'm actually really happy with the outcome of this. And yeah, I know I'm moving really slow on this, but hopefully you can understand why I'm moving slow on this. Next will be the front, and that's going to be ugly from what I've seen. I'm going to have to go back into that and research and study it. But yeah, the ABS is working fantastic. So I guess I did it right. So NT8 on the Sertao. We'll talk to you later.